Thank you, everyone, for holding. We are now joined with head coach Paul Petrino of Idaho. If you have a question for Coach Petrino, please press star 1 to get in the queue to ask questions. Again, press star 1 on your phone to get in the queue to ask questions. The Idaho Vandals are coming off a 19-16 victory last Saturday against Troy, and now heading to a game against Louisiana Monroe. The game will take place at Moscow, Idaho, and will kick off at 2 p.m. local time, at Pacific time, and will be aired on ESPN3. Coach Petrino, before we get to questions, please give us your thoughts on the Troy game and a preview of Louisiana Monroe.
Well, the Troy game, it was probably the craziest trip I've ever been associated with in all my years in sports, because we had a 14-hour plane delay. We landed at 9:16 in the morning and played a game at about 4 or 5 hours later. So it was really proud of our players for just the mental toughness, overcoming all the obstacles, and probably most of them played on 1 or 2 hours of sleep. I was just super proud of our defense. Played their best game they played all year. Offense played good enough to win, and it was just a super team effort. Just proud of our players and our assistant coaches. Monroe, Coach Berry does a great job. They got a lot of good players. They played an extremely tough schedule. You watch them against Georgia, Alabama, Tulsa. They played some really tough teams. So and then they had to play Georgia Southern and Appalachian State, two of the best teams in our league. So they're very talented. They do a lot of different things defensively that make you work real hard all week preparing for them, and then they try to spread you out offensively and throw the ball around.
Thank you, Coach Petrino. As a reminder to our members of the media, please press star 1 at this time to get in the queue to ask questions. Coach, as you mentioned, it was a rough travel weekend for y'all. What can you take away from going through that experience and winning that game against Troy?
I think our players can just really be proud of themselves and understand that what we've done here in the last couple of years, how hard we work, which we work extremely hard, and how we really push them to. We always talk to them about we want to push them to a point where they can be comfortable when they're uncomfortable. That they practice hard enough in practice, and that the games are always easy. Our hard workouts we do in the off season, and I think that all paid off on this trip. They were definitely a situation where they had any built-in excuse they could have had if they wanted to, but they were just tough, and just shows our mental toughness of our team and how much our team is coming together and how much everybody plays for each other.
And Austin Rico was named this week's Sunbelt Special Teams Student Athlete of the Week. Can you just give us your thoughts on his performance last week against Troy?
Austin's just a super talented kid, very competitive. I did a great job. Made all his field goals except for one, which was a 52-yarder, and he just barely missed that. Did a great job punting like he always does, and did a great job kicking off. He does everything for us. Had a bunch of touchbacks on his kickoff. Made the game-winning field goal. And also made 3 other ones, and just did a great job of punting. Austin's just a real special talent, and definitely a weapon that we have.
And what was the key defensively to holding Troy on the final quarter? I mean, it seemed like they kind of came to life in that last quarter, and were driving the ball to get points late in that game.
We just had a couple. Quentin Bradley did a great job of putting pressure on their quarterback, making him throw it a little sooner than he wanted to. And our DB stepped up and made some key stops on that last drive, and made them some tough contested catches. And defense just did a good job getting the stop.
And finally, what was the return of Matt Linehan? What did he add to the offense this week?
His experience. His being in the battle. I still played Jake also, and Jake did some good things for us. But that last drive, was a 14-play drive that we got all the way down there to the 1-yard line, and Matt played really well in that drive. And the game was tied. We kept the ball for 14 plays. I think it was 6 minutes. Kept the ball most of the fourth quarter there, and I think that helped our defense too, because they got a long rest going into their last drive, and they had to get a stop. But Matt just made some key plays in that last drive.
Okay, Coach, that's all the time we have for you today. We appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.